Hello and welcome to another episode of the Silver Screen Show. I am here with Chris. Hello, Chris. And today we are looking at The Father, starring Anthony Hopkins and Olivia Coleman. You might have heard it picked up a couple of Oscars and a couple of other nominations at the Oscars and other awards this year. And Chris has watched it, so I'm just going to give you the IMDb overview and then throw it over. So, a man refuses all assistance from his daughter as he ages. As he tries to make sense of his changing circumstances, he begins to doubt his loved ones, his own mind, and even the fabric of his reality. So quite a heavy one. So I'll throw it over to Chris for a more detailed overview.
That's a very effective summation. It's not easy viewing. It is certainly a look at frankly the cost of age and what it can do to you and how it affects the relationships with the people around you. And how it's not just incredibly hard on yourself with dementia, but also unbelievably taxing on your loved ones. And the only moments of hope in there are that fact there are people who care for you, and there are people who will be looking to look out for you, no matter what situation you get into. But I wouldn't say it was a fun, light-hearted Sunday night movie for sure. No,
it definitely doesn't sound like it. And you know, everyone. You see it in other people, you see other people go through it, and some people have possibly gone through it themselves, so it's definitely not an easy film to watch for anyone, and it's something that some people don't accept as well, you know, especially I can imagine, you know, getting to a certain age and you don't want to believe that your mind might be failing you or that your loved ones aren't going to be there for you, and you know, especially the idea of having to take care of one of your parents is a difficult concept as well, because you know, they've always taken care of us, and you know, it's difficult to come to terms with the fact that at some point they're not going to be that strong character that we've had in our lives. So no, definitely not something to go into lightly, this particular film. So what are your positive points about the movie?
It's an absolutely magnificent performance from Anthony Hopkins. Of course, I think we all loved him in The Silence of the Lambs, and we've all known of what a talented actor he's been. I don't think there has been that many truly great performances of Hopkins in films since The Silence of the Lambs, which has been so magnificent to see him be the incredibly talented actor he can be on screen again for this, and get a very, very deserved second Best Actor Oscar.
Yes. So he did receive Best Actor for the film, and it also received Best Adapted Screenplay at the Oscars. And I agree. I think Anthony Hopkins he's definitely one of my top actors. And I know that he's been in some trash films, like he was in the Transformers, one of the later Transformers movies, and it was absolutely ridiculous, but I loved it, and I love him as an actor. And I think also recently, you know, he's been very present online, been putting a lot of stuff on his Instagram, and he's been very entertaining on that as well.
I was thinking about the video where he's listening to the music going.
Actually, I was more thinking about like him playing the piano and things like that, but yes, that too. And he does like readings and little like monologues from stuff, which is really cool. But yeah, it's lovely to see him in get this recognition again. And what did you think of Olivia Coleman?
As always, excellent. She does have a slight role in which she's always the kind of slightly put upon woman who's just absorbing all the pressures of the world around her, except for the favourite, where she is exerting the pressures on everyone. But she can really see the pain she's going through and having to deal with her father, who is he's just from one end to another all the time. You can never tell his massively erratic mood swings, and it's tough. So my grandfather struggled with Alzheimer's before he died, and I could definitely relate the struggles she was going through with my dad and his brothers towards dealing with my grandfather, because frankly, there's the man they knew and the man he was now, which was frankly in some ways becoming a shell, more and more distant from his memories and what related him to his family.
Yeah, we actually had the same thing in my family. My grandfather was suffered from Alzheimer's, and again, yeah, with my dad and his brothers, and going to see him and having to remind him of who certain people were, and it's strange what leaves them and what stays with them. You can tell, like, memories from 50, 60 years ago are clear as day.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, they couldn't tell you what they had for breakfast the day before. So.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see that put on screen.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, would you have any negative points about the movie?
I would have two small points. Anthony Hopkins' character is called Anthony, which kind of took me out of it a little bit every now and again. Also, it's based on a play, and like many films based on plays, it doesn't incorporate all the visual opportunities of being a film, and it always kind of keeps itself quite contained. I mean, it's very effective in many ways in this part, but possibly a bit more visual alternatives to acknowledge that you are in a film instead of a play now might have been appreciated from time to time, but not massively so.
Yeah, I get that, actually. There was I saw Let the Right One In, and then I saw it on stage, and I saw a film version of it, and although the film wasn't that great, but what I did like about the film is the fact that they used the fact that it was a movie and it wasn't just on stage, and they used like all of the tools in their toolbox kind of thing to make it more not over the top or anything, but they just played with it in a different way. So yeah, no, I get that. Like, you're not restricted by the stage and what you can do with sets and things. You can play with it a little bit more. Okay, brilliant. So what would you overall rate out of 10?
If I just a point about the presentation of it, which is leading why I'm going to score it this way as well. Okay. It's amazing what it does with the narrative and how it chops and changes it. So in many occasions, you are feeling as someone with dementia might feel, because you're not sure what's really happening and what isn't. In some ways, this reminds me of Memento, but in much, I don't want to say sincere, but in a much more grounded level, and a much more personally identifiable way in which it plays with memory in frankly quite a stressful way at times. And for that really quite innovative approach and a magnificent performance from Coleman and Anthony Hopkins, plus great supporting performances from Imogen Poots and Rufus Sewell, all of it combining together, I would give it I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I was toying with a 10. I'm going to give it a 9.
Okay. Yeah, well, you had a couple of negative points, so I can understand that. Wow, there's big score, 9 out of 10 for The Father, and sounds like it is warranted. So we'll definitely be catching it as soon as I can. So that's it for The Father. Thank you very much, Chris, and we will see everyone again soon.